Hey there, it's Tom Course-Knowles. In this video, I want to share with you 3 free blogging websites. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, how they work, and actually why I recommend you don't use them for most situations. So in this course, what I'm teaching you is how to create your own custom designed WordPress website that you own. So you have to have your own hosting on your own servers, you have your own domain name, you're branding your company, and you're really creating the most professional website possible with as little cost and expense as possible. For those of you who are on a super tight budget and you want a totally free website, these are 3 options for you. But again, I really don't recommend it for anyone looking to actually make money online, whether you have a business or you're an author, an artist, you want to sell things online. It's much, much, much easier to do it when you own your own website. So here are the 3 free blogging platforms available. So one is blogger.com. Here is an example of one of my blogs on blogger.com. If I could go back and start all over again, I would never have put this site on blogger.com. And again, I would never use any of these 3 free platforms just because I'd be making a lot more money now from them if I were on my own actual site. So here's blogger.com. It's pretty customizable. You can actually install opt-in forms on blogger.com, which is something you can't do on WordPress, on the free WordPress.com website, which is separate from the WordPress websites I'm teaching you to build. So there's kind of 2 kinds of WordPress. So one is WordPress.com, and that is the free website where you can go and create a free blog on WordPress.com, but it's hosted on their servers and on their domain. You don't own that website. What I'm teaching you to do is use the WordPress.org content management system or software, which basically builds your website for you. It's totally free to use, and you can get all the themes and plugins and everything with it as well. So it's 2 separate types of WordPress. So here's my WordPress.com website. It's juicetom.wordpress.com. And the problem with WordPress.com, the free website, is you can't have an opt-in form on the site anywhere. So there's no way to have an opt-in form on this website, which means, and this website still gets quite a bit of traffic for me, but I'm not making nearly as much money or as many subscribers as I possibly could because they don't allow you to have an opt-in form to build your email list through WordPress.com. So I absolutely would never recommend that for anyone who actually wants to make money online. The third site is called Tumblr. Tumblr.com is a free blog, and it's a little bit better than I say both the other platforms in that you can have actual opt-in forms here. You can do some other really cool things with Tumblr, and they get actually quite a bit of traffic comes from Tumblr through Tumblr's own system. They have like a blog browsing system, and it actually tends to get quite a bit of traffic, at least in my experience. So, but again, I don't recommend using these 3 websites. So number one, big reason you wouldn't want to use these websites is it's harder to build your email list. So even though on Tumblr and Blogger you can have an opt-in form on the top right of your website over here, you can't actually put a lightbox pop-up on these websites. So you can't have a lightbox pop up and say, hey, enter your name and email here. They don't allow pop-ups on these websites. Another thing is it's very hard to sell products through these free websites. So you can't really integrate your own shopping carts. There are ways you can integrate shopping carts onto these websites, but it's much more difficult. It's definitely not recommended. Anyone who runs a serious e-commerce business would never even consider using any of these free websites. It's just it would be laughable for anyone having a 6 or 7 or 8-figure business online to use one of these free websites because they'd be missing out on so much potential revenue for various reasons. Number 3 big problem with the free websites is that you don't actually own them. So they are actually, if you'll notice, this one is 1,000 ways to start a business.tumblr.com. This one is juicetom.wordpress.com. And this one is actually a custom domain, which is getrichandgiveback.com. And so all of these websites are actually hosted on their servers, not my servers. And the good thing about that is it's basically free. I don't pay for the servers. The problem with that though is if anything ever happens, they can shut you down. There is terms of service for each of these websites that really clearly state that they're in control of your website. They can shut it down anytime they want. And in fact, that's what happened to me several years ago. I had a blog on blogger.com, and they removed my blog saying that it was spam, which it wasn't. but they removed my blog completely, and there was no recourse. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I put in, support requests and asked them to, put back my website, but they said, hey, a robot searched your website, and this is what they found, and, your website got shut down. So there's nothing I could do to ever get my website back. I lost hundreds of articles, all the time, energy, and years I put into building up that blog, totally wasted. So you do not ever want that to happen, especially if you have a real business where you're actually making money online. Imagine having your entire income just disappear overnight because you're using a free website. So saving a couple dollars might sound really nice, but in the long run, it's going to cost you way more money to use one of these free websites. Okay, another big issue with these websites is branding. So with an actual custom WordPress site on your own servers, you can brand it and design it any way you want. And in this course, I'm going to show you how to do that. With these websites, you don't really get, with Blogger and with Tumblr especially, you don't get nearly as much branding potential. And even with the WordPress.com website, you really can't customize it the same way you can when you have your own custom website on your own servers. Also the domain, so juicetom.wordpress.com, I'm branding WordPress there. I'm not building my personal brand with this website, but when you have your own domain name that you own, it's like yourname.com, you're branding yourself. You're not branding another company, and that's super, super important. Most really serious online marketers, business people today, they understand this. So if they see that your website is, yourname.wordpress.com or yourname.blogger.com, they're going to know right away that, hey, this person's not really a professional, right? They know that you're not really at the top of your game because you opted for a free blog instead of paying, $4 or $5 a month to have your own custom website. So that's why I don't recommend using these free blogging websites. There are some situations where you might want to use them. So, if you just have a little project and you want a free Tumblr blog and you want to post it on Tumblr and try it out and see how it works and connect with the community there, fine, you can do that. But honestly, I think your time and energy would be much, much better spent on your own custom website, building up content on the site that you own, that's your branding, that's your positioning, that actually has a way that you can easily monetize it. It's going to make you a lot more money and success and influence in the long term. And one of the key things I've learned from blogging for the past 9 years is that blogging is a long-term game. It's not a short-term game. It's not about how much money you make this month or this year, or how much money you save this year. It's about the long-term success. And all the bloggers I know that are doing 6 and 7 figures online, they've had their blog for years, 3 years, 5 years, some even 10 years, consistently blogging, consistently creating content. Those are the people who are successful. And I've been doing this for 9 years, but I would be way, way, way more successful today if I just started with one blog, one custom website that I own, and put all the content on one website. I'd be doing much better than I am today because success builds up over time. And so what happened with me is I had all these different websites. I had these free websites. I had a couple, custom websites as well in different markets and different niches. And so my content was spread out all over the internet. So, collectively my sites do, like 1 million views a month. But if they were all in one website, imagine the power and concentration of all that traffic in one place with a website that's actually, optimized for getting email subscribers and selling products and services. I'd be doing much, much better. So that's just something to think about. I highly recommend focus on one website and, obviously having that website be a custom website that you own on your own servers so that you can actually monetize it. That's just by far the best way to go. All right, so I hope this video has been helpful for you. Hope it's giving you a little bit of perspective. I really created this video to let you know, first of all, there are free options out there. Second of all, I don't recommend them. And I know a lot of people in my past, when I've done speaking on stage and trained people about how to use your own custom website, they'll always say, hey, what about these free websites? I think those are great. Well, it's great because it's easy to use and it's easy to get started. But in terms of actually monetizing your business and making money and selling products online, it's not nearly as good as having your own custom website. All right, hope this video has been helpful for you. I'll see you in the next training videos where you're going to learn how to make your own custom website.